at a high rate of speed here. You see he's about double, not quite double the speed limit on this road.
Oh, Avon Boulevard.
Approaching
Okay.
an intersection again and going right through it. Chris, this is pretty dangerous. What's ahead of him right now?
Well, I mean, he's got some more, more suburban traffic at each of these stoplights, and he's got opportunities to get on the freeway. As far as I am aware, he has not actually traveled on the freeway. He's taken surface streets to get down in this area, but he is not stopping for any of these red lights. And as you mentioned, he's putting other people at risk here.
Put your feet on camera.
And that's really playing in the on the part of that watch commander back at Central Division, who is monitoring this pursuit, waiting for the opportunity to intercept the suspect here. But again, there are about 6 units, 6 black and whites, who are following from a distance, but having trouble keeping up with him because of the dangerous nature of his driving right through these red lights, right around cross traffic, weaving through anybody in his way here. And you can see at each one of these stoplights, he encounters more of that traffic and just has no hesitation, splitting lanes, going right through cars, and at times, as I mentioned, even jumping onto the sidewalk. So it is a hairy pursuit, to say at least. Look at this. More pedestrians, bicyclists, slowing down at least. He's braking, but he is continuing to run right through the red light, just waiting for cross traffic to pass here. At least he's braking. Some encouraging signs there that he's not completely out of his mind, but certainly a very dangerous person behind the wheel here of this motorcycle as he now goes underneath the Harbor Freeway here, underneath the 110 freeway, and this might put him, well, yeah, he's going to continue down.
This is what divorced you, bro.
Passing Figueroa, showing signs of making a northbound
Nobody
turn
divorced me. Nobody did that.
Denver Avenue. So
nobody did that.
Denver
that never happened.
From Imperial and slowing down at least just a little
okay, chat,
bit times
chat.
when he's got
yesterday, chat,
range,
your girlfriend broke up with you.
Was pushing.
Oh, wait, she didn't? You don't have a girlfriend?
You can see him slowing down at least a little bit.
Well, now he feels
I don't know how much more he can have.
Can't have a breakup, huh? You don't have a girlfriend now.
Great gas mileage.
You can't get divorced, you don't have a wife.
At some point, that's going to become an issue the way he's been riding, guys.
It looks like he's also on the phone with somebody. We're seeing him kind of speak possibly on speakerphone, and then he's holding the edge of the phone up, it appears, to his ear to try to see what the individual he is speaking to is saying back to him. So that also, I mean, obviously we're told when we're in our cars, don't talk on your cell phone while you're driving. Certainly don't talk on your cell phone while you're in the middle of a police pursuit on a motocross bike, whipping through traffic. So that's just adding to the danger here for this driver.
They sound like Unk and Unket on the radio. Okay, this is a motorcycle. Okay, like this guy is aware. Like it's like riding a bike. He's on his phone or whatever, but like you can feel the air, you can feel the cars around you. Like it's not like it's whatever. I'm not.
We don't know that that's what's happening, but he is. It would appear communicating or at least listening to someone.
Like he's way less at risk as a motor driver.
Relating to his current position, which is that he's being pursued by the LAPD, who want very much to stop him from doing what he's doing.
Oh,
the belief
I forgot.
is that he had a weapon.
It's Unk and Auntie.
They want to ascertain whether, in fact, that happened. Look at that. He just ducked back there, and now he's heading, continuing northbound on Figueroa from Century.
Oh, Auntie, Jesus Christ!
And heading again, he's going to just head toward the USC, the USC area, and then beyond that, it'll be into downtown.
Chat.
There's a lot of traffic.
Chat. I just pulled the top layer of my nail, and look how nice it looks.
It's a major north-south artery, an alternative to the Harbor Freeway that a lot of people use at this time of day when they don't want to spend all their day on the freeway. So he's going to handle a lot of traffic.
Wow.
There's pedestrians, there's fast traffic.
It is nice.
Not a great situation.
And Chris, those black and white patrol vehicles that you mentioned that are kind of keeping up with him on the ground there, where can you see they are? And okay, there we go, zooming out so we can see that they still have eyes on him. He's just a couple blocks, it looks like, ahead of.
Chad, this will probably last like about an hour and a half until like they decide to give up on him.
But again, they're also trying to be mindful of the traffic in this area right now, a little bit after 5 o'clock as rush hour really gets underway.
Yeah, they keep falling back a little bit when it's too dangerous, and then they try and catch up. They're doing a great job staying about a block behind him or so, but as he continues to run through these red lights,
he's armed.
A little bit of distance,
oh no, hold on.
Like he is right here. No problem going into oncoming lanes of traffic sometimes, just to get around some of these traffic jams. Continuing northbound.
He could crash, but he won't.
And now stopping for at least, well, not stopping, but going right through this red light here, despite the cross traffic there, and that's where those units start to fall back. They cannot do what he's doing there in those patrol cars. So they're
gas will last a while. On top of that, though, like
we're now entering LAX's airspace.
He could on the fly open up the fucking lid and like just fucking take a couple sips of gas and keep going.
We're holding steady right around the 105 freeway at the 110 freeway. He is paralleling the 110 freeway right along Figueroa Avenue, excuse me, and we'll be able to come around at some point here.
Is this the same as last time or not?
North, probably meet him on the other side of the LAX Bravo here. You can see all of those units, though, continuing as they try and catch up once again, but intentionally keeping their distance, as this is in tracking mode, not technically in pursuit mode, but he is continuing this pursuit, refusing to pull over, and I think at some point they're going to have an opportunity if he runs out of fuel here. I just can't imagine that he's going to get too far here.
Does he literally just cruise through the fucking no-fly zone or whatever? Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, this is so dumb.
I think it's a little bit more than just a man with a gun, although that was the initial call. I think they are dealing with some more intelligence, although that is just speculation on my part, based on some of the tactics they're using here and the amount of units they're dedicating.
Gold-plated helicopter!
A little bit unusual, especially for a motorcycle. These motorcycles can be very squirrely. They're very hard to pursue, especially during rush hour conditions like we're seeing here in South LA. That many units, and to keep the pressure on as long as they have. This has been going on for upwards of a half hour, maybe even 40 minutes or so, and they're not making any effort to pull back whatsoever. They are trying at all costs to keep up with him, as he now, I think, makes that right turn.
It actually might be like the same as last time.
110 freeway.
Chat, listen to this.
The behavior changes here as he drives through pretty moderate traffic, I would say, on the northbound side of the 110 freeway. That'll give LAPD, though, plenty of opportunity to get onto the freeway with him, and they were positioned to do that. They'll probably be popping into the shot here at any moment. California Highway Patrol also
5 years in the jungle.
This is now
Do you think I could get a welcome to the jungle, Murkow?
Par for the course, I should say. And he is now splitting those lanes.
Chad, this is not getting this guy.
As those units
I say sometimes, but I mean,
close in on him as he passes Vernon Avenue.
Yeah, does it appear that he's going a bit faster now? From our vantage point, maybe it looks like it.
Not really. He's kind of going with the traffic here.
Dude, she always tries to escalate, and he never lets her get away with it. It's so funny.
Approach him. You'll start to get a better idea of his speed, but we're kind of directly behind him, shooting from a distance. A little bit hard to tell. He's probably doing right around the speed limit with the rest of the traffic here. Northbound through Vernon, northbound 110 freeway. We'll see if he picks up any speed here. Of course, the more speed he picks up, the more fuel he's going to exhaust here, and that'll only limit his ride even further here. But he is picking up a little bit of speed now, pulling over to the right lane. Might even be thinking about getting off the freeway.
All right, and let's talk for a second about what tactics they can employ here against a motorcycle. They can't really use a spike strip, right? Or I guess they could. If they could make sure that he would run over it, but they can't do.
I know a lot about motorcycles in terms of like gas mileage when you're going fast. I would assume
since your Minecraft runs have been tough to watch, but
less gas at high speeds than cars, because there's less mass to move around or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Yet another reason why these motorcycle pursuits, or in this case a dirt bike, are so precarious, because you really are limited in terms of the options that law enforcement has at their disposal. The best they can hope for is that he boxes himself in, and by being in the right position, they could be ready for the termination of the pursuit. But unless that happens, he's going to be able
two cop cars drove on opposite sides of him, and it had a large roll of sand wrap. I'd probably kill him, Loki.
That they could do unless he poses a lethal danger to them.
So the way to do it, in my opinion, is to get a net. It's a bungee net, I call it. You deploy the net, and as he goes into it, it stretches. So the impact doesn't kill him, but it catches him safely.
And then being in position to end this safely and resolve it by taking him into custody, hopefully as peacefully as possible. But with a man who is believed to be armed, again, all bets are off, and we can only hope.
Aware it's been 54 years, please do not put your foot on screen. 500 cigarettes, do not.
Yeah, and it looks like traffic slowing down
Also,
right now,
what about a material
you know,
that becomes very
this guy is
corrosive at high temperature? He puts some goo, he gets into the brakes, he brakes, it heats up, and it starts to fuck with his shit. And it termites his,
thick of rush hour now as we make our way squarely
it termites the wheel.
Downtown area, transitioning, I think, onto the 10 freeway, taking the, I believe that's going to be the eastbound transition from the 110 freeway to the 10. We'll see if that's correct. No, I think he's taking the westbound. Is that going to put him on the westbound, Rob? I think it's going to be onto the 10 freeway here. Here's the split.
Get the MC record today so you can stop playing that garbage. I beg of you,
behind the truck.
please.
Okay, getting off the freeway altogether. Getting off the freeway
This guy.
altogether at Cherry Street. Picking up a little bit of speed here. We'll see if those units can get off with him, but he has now put some serious distance between himself and those pursuing officers. We counted about a half a dozen units that were able to make their way onto the freeway with him, but again, he's been able to really put a lot of distance in between them, but hopefully they'll be able to catch up here as he passes the convention center, now coming out onto, he's on Pico, coming up on...
Chad, this guy probably knows like 1 million tricks to get away from the cops. Like,
making the left northbound
I don't even know
turn
why they
on
even
the
get,
Fig,
like...
And this is going to be the classic move, right, guys?
xQc,
Right
look
in the
great
middle
today,
of
Mr. Streamer.
downtown LA.
xQc,
And unless they
let's
can
break
keep eyes
some
on him,
records.
there are just too many hiding spots with a vehicle, any vehicle, let
Aware the
alone a
spirit of
motorcycle,
Gene Paul
where there are
lives on
just
through
so
the
many
real
parking
life
garages,
RP
so many
players.
tall buildings. Even for that helicopter, it's about to get a lot trickier to maintain a visual of him. As you can see, we are able to keep that that line of sight clear, but if he starts to, starts to zigzag through these buildings, it's going to be a whole different ball game. I would not be surprised to see him dump this bike by any means.
Yeah, what's interesting, I'm wondering if there's any significance at all to the
blue rims on that?
that we're seeing on this, on what he's wearing, on the jacket, on the black jacket, the black
same
pants,
shoes,
whether that has
blue
some
rims,
meaning or not. And I'm very curious about
different
that
goggle wrap, but different goggles, but
may be one of those 360-degree cameras, as described by one of our technicians here at ABC7. So I'm just curious about what exactly is going on here and why this person allegedly had a gun or had a gun and at least made that evident.
I'm not snitching. I'm giving him credit. How is that a bad thing?
Unsure enough about it to call the police and to be concerned about the possession of that weapon.
Guys,
so
every movie at the end, there's a credits. The actors are credited for their work.
This
guy wants to be an actor, show up on the screen, show up on the news, I'm giving the credit. It's fair enough.
Something far more sinister. We just don't know yet.
So, okay, so then I watch videos, I react. I don't give him credit because he's mad. I give him credit now because he's mad at me.
From the pursuers
so now,
certainly if he wants to,
now you get mad for giving credit. That's crazy.
Officers, he can. There's lots of places he's already passed that he could duck into, or look like he's ducking into and go somewhere else. So it's curious right now. He's going straight northbound, still on Figueroa. Is that correct?
Northbound Figueroa, he's kind of passing through the downtown area. He may come out on the north side, maybe even hit the 101 freeway here. He is splitting those lanes, putting real distance between him and any of those LAPD units, but he's navigating this traffic.
Chad, real shit, he should cut his,
at these various intersections. He's using every ounce of pavement at his disposal.
Handlebars a little bit.
Right turn here, possibly onto 3rd Street or just going around.
They're a little wider.
On Fig, and continuing, it looks like continuing northbound Fig. Northbound Fig,
now
on the north side of downtown LA. Thankfully, that air support helicopter able to maintain a visual, still following him from above and devoting still all of those ground resources to trying to catch up with him. So they are not.
I could easily come up with a new device to stop criminals.
Spot for pursuits
for chases,
we'll see if he comes out the other side.
LA will never buy it.
He may or may not. This is just
because they don't want to catch criminals.
Spot, where he may very well be gone with the wind. We'll see where he comes out here.
California doesn't care about catching criminals.
As we make our
if I make a new device for like $1 billion,
based on how we saw
they will never buy it.
Through downtown Los Angeles, I mean, it certainly looked as if he is familiar enough with this area to kind of know what turn to take versus what turn that maybe would not work in his favor. Would you agree, Chris?
I missed that, Michelle, one more time.
I just was mentioning that based off of the behavior that we saw from him in downtown Los Angeles, in terms of the turns he was taking or not taking, it seemed as if
he's gonna like us. He just turned around entirely.
As best possible to avoid authorities.
Well, I think it's fair to say we're in the area, in the general part of town where this started. I don't know exactly where they picked it up, but it does seem that after he left downtown, made his way all the way down to the 105, not a close distance, and now all the way back up into this general area, it seems like it is an area he may be more comfortable with. It's a little bit hard to say. He seems, by my eye, to kind of be making these turns up as he goes along. These appear to be mostly random turns. I think he is creating content with that camera. I think it seems to be part of his intent here, but what exactly is going through his mind, what he's doing with that weapon, how all of this started, just leaves so many more questions than answers. But I do agree with Mark and Mike. It does look like one of those Insta360 cameras, if not some other type of camera stick. But
I used to be a little bit of a bootlegger when it comes to like chases or whatever. But I have to be honest with you, I've lost a little bit of respect for how they handle chases and everything. I've lost a bit of respect there. So I laugh at shit like that when people like do shit like that. I don't like it. It's crime. It's bullshit. But they're a bunch of dumb fucks over there, so fuck them. I just watch. It is what it is.
As they try and pick this up once again right underneath the road.
All right. Well, we're gonna.
CHP is lazy. They pretend to care. LAPD pretend to care based on the whatever the fuck. Okay, like I couldn't give a fuck. They're government.
And rather than stay static over these buildings where we can't see much of anything, we're going to come back to this as needed if something new develops. We know the LAPD is still very much interested in this. We will come back to you. In the meantime,
did I not say LAPD?
To cover.